offseason. They hired Dan Quinn as their defensive coordinator and signed a franchise record 8 unrestricted free agents. So, Sale, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Have the Cowboys actually improved this offseason?
Yes, they have. And you talk about the free agents they added to this roster. The most talented roster, certainly in that division. One of the most talented rosters we know in the NFL. To the point why we always look at this team and say, why don't you live up to expectations? The expectations are great because the talent level is so great. And what did they do this offseason to add to that talent level? At the most important position in the NFL, you told me, the quarterback position. They got Dak Prescott signed. Long-term deal back in the fold. So I remind everyone out there that as we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was the lowliest franchise in sports history before Tom Brady's arrival, a 7-9 team before Tom Brady's arrival, but fixed the quarterback position, additions elsewhere, and next thing you know, that is a Super Bowl championship team. I'm looking at a parallel between that team in Tampa Bay and the same team we're going to talk about here in Dallas. 7-9 team. Dallas wasn't 7-9, but they were close. They were in a division with a team that did win 7 games and won that division, the Washington football team, which has taken a step back. I'll talk about that later. But let's talk about the forward steps of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. I remind you that when Dak Prescott was the quarterback for the Cowboys, they averaged 32.5 points last year. That would have been third in the NFL if he would have continued. But let's go back to the year he did finish. They were #1 in total scoring offense, 2019. Okay, so without Dak Prescott, all of a sudden, you only scored 21 points a game, which would have been 24th in the NFL. Completely different offense. Everyone else is playing better with Dak Prescott. You can name them. I got the numbers right here. You go with Zeke. You want to go with CeeDee Lamb. You want to talk about him being second in rookie receptions and yards. You want to talk about how they still have Amari Cooper. All of the assets they have get inflated because Dak Prescott is signed back for this team. So now you have continuity. You have the offseason. You have the preseason. You also have your quarterback with your head coach. It's not virtual. And this same quarterback has set some historical numbers and records in his short career duration with the Cowboys. All that adds up to a successful season for the Cowboys, better than last year, but more importantly, double-digit wins that gets them into the playoffs.
I respect the take, but here's the issue at hand. The Cowboys did improve this offseason, but you won't be able to tell. The NFL is goal-oriented. It is not task-oriented. Task-oriented is I am competing against my former self. A goal-oriented task is rather I am competing against everybody else. For example, you and I talk track and field, we can talk track and field. Heptathlon, decathlon, if you will. You were scored based upon a base performance.
Yeah.
You're not scored. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the viewers, but I'm literally talking to you. You're not scored based upon how you beat other people. It's how you do relative to the base performance.
Okay.
Golf. You're not scored based upon how you beat other people. You're scored based upon how many shots it takes to get it into the hole, simplifying the matter. Football different, though. The only thing that matters in football is how you do relative to the competition.
Oh, let's go.
So the Cowboys, did they get better this offseason? Sure. But relative to the competition, you won't be able to tell. Finished third in the NFC East last year. Cowboys did get better, but the Giants got more better. The Cowboys got
doing
better.
that up here? Two brothers up here more better?
The Cowboys did get better, but Washington got more better than the Cowboys got better.
Not even close.
We already know who the Giants added. Giants added Kenny Golladay. We already know they added Adoree Jackson, hopefully a healthy Adoree Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, Washington, you added a speedster in Curtis Samuel to go along with Terry McLaurin. You also added William Jackson, the defensive back, to the #2 defense in the National Football League already. Now, everybody says the Washington got worse in the quarterback position.
Yes.
But keep in mind, Alex Smith only started 6 games last year. So assuming Ryan Fitzpatrick plays more than 6 games, plays 10 or so games, Ryan Fitzpatrick is better to me than Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen and that hodgepodge. So did the Cowboys improve? Yes. But we won't be able to tell because they didn't improve as great a rate as the other team.
Damn, I didn't want to do this to you so early, man. I still want to go kumbaya with you, but let's go here. Let's start with the Washington football team since you want to talk about them. Since they won the division, and everyone's like, oh, they're going to improve because they got Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I believe in Fitz. You know, Ivy League, Harvard, respect to my dog, Fitz magic. But there is an illusion to his magic.
Absolutely.
His Fitz magic. Going into year 17,
yes,
I think I have on record 14 of his 16 years he's had starts. And he's only been above 500 3 times in 14 years. Good Lord, every place he's been, I love you, Fitz, but you did go to Harvard, so I got to shoot you a little bit. Every place he's been, loser, loser, loser in terms of his quarterback win-loss record. Okay, but then, okay, I give you the 10-win season that he had, 10-6 season. Yay. The other two were 2-1 with Tampa Bay in 2017. Remember that? Or last year, oh, where'd he go? 4-3. Hold on, you're trying to tell me he's not going to be a guaranteed winner, and then he probably won't even finish the season, whether it's because of injuries or, more importantly, because of lack of production. But they got better. The same Washington football team that was the third worst total offense last year. Oh, they got better. The same Washington football team that only got 2 playmakers on offense for really in a bad offensive line. Gave up 50 sacks last year. They got better, though, because they got Fitzmagic. Boy, stop. Okay, let's talk about the Giants. Oh, the second worst scoring offense and total offense. But they got better, too, huh? How? You don't believe in Daniel Jones. I actually do. But now you're going to sit up here trying to win a take and say that you think the Giants got better. Oh, my God. Look at this. Bad offensive line as well. Eagles, first-time head coach. You told me you
didn't mention Eagles. You heard in my laugh. You're not nowhere in my take. I mentioned the Eagles.
Hey, I'm just trying to shoot whoever going to come through this door, too. Everybody got to go in this one. But the point is, dog, the Dallas Cowboys are the best at the most important position, and more importantly, they have the most talent, especially offensively. There's no way anybody in this division, as they proved last year, can stop a healthy Dak Prescott.
Bro, I can't agree, and the reason I can't agree is because history says otherwise. Like, what's crazy is, somebody gave this take. It might have been Joy gave this take. Carson Wentz gets the most credit of any player that never won an MVP. Dak Prescott gets the most credit of any quarterback that hasn't won more than 2 playoff games in a run. Like, it's astronomical.
No, Deshaun Watson.
Okay. And when we go, but they in the same conversation. Chill.
Not yet, huh? Not yet. This is bigger than wins and losses. Yes. Deshaun. Okay, go ahead. Man.
It's astronomical, the credit Dak gets. To Zoe Marcellus, he's like 60-5 as a starter. Yeah, I hear you. He's 20-17
Better than
his last 3 seasons.
Better than
Dak Prescott won 13 games in 2016. Then he won 9, then he won 10, then he won 8, then he went 2-3. So even with Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are still roughly 500 the last 3 years. 20-17. So again, yes, Dak Prescott is head and shoulders above the rest of the NFC East as far as quarterback. Head and shoulders above.
Good job.
But he can't be it's not like he's immune from being undermined by a great head coach. We saw that last year. Cowboys were 1-3 with that.
Yeah, but that was the beginning when nobody else played. Defense wasn't playing, special teams wasn't playing, coach wasn't coaching. You came up here week after week talking about that. What was Dak doing in those 4 weeks? Historical numbers.
And turnovers.
And turnovers, but we don't know how that was going to play out, so I don't want to project just positive. It could have been some bumpy road, right? But then you go back to the year before, and you're like, damn, dude was 1 yard shy of setting a franchise record in passing and had the #1 total offense. So we can't go there on Dak. Don't do that. And history shows you different. History shows me that Dak owns the NFC East.
He does. 19-6.
Since that year when he lost 3 his rookie year, so let's take that out. 16-3. And you trying to tell me that this dude is not going to walk into the playoffs with home field in the first round at minimum because he's going to win this division that's not that good.
My question for you, for the optimistic Dallas Cowboys fans, remember, I'm from Dallas. 214 is still the area code on your boy's phone.
Doesn't sound like